where today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of Singapore's 20-cent coins. Now, most of us have a few 20-cent coins hanging around in our change jars. That's right, there are some seriously rare and valuable Singapore 20-cent coins out there, and today, we're going to uncover the top 5. The 1972-era Singapore 20-cent coin is a rare treasure that has captivated coin collectors and numismatists alike. You might have one sitting in your pocket or hidden in your collection right now, and the incredible value of this coin will leave you in awe. In this video, we're diving deep into the astonishing story behind the 1972-era Singapore 20-cent coin, uncovering its mystifying history, the rare errors that make it so special, and of course, the rare minting error. At the lower end, a coin with a slight error could still be worth hundreds of dollars, depending on its condition. But as we move into the more rare and extreme errors, the value skyrockets. A pristine, well-preserved 1972-era coin could be worth thousands of dollars, and collectors have been known to pay large sums just for the privilege of owning one. But the real kicker comes when we talk about the exceptional coins, the ones with the most dramatic errors. The coins with double strikes, misaligned designs, and other major flaws. These pieces are extremely rare, with some fetching $50,000 or more at auction. And in the world of high-stakes coin collecting, the top-tier era coins have been known to sell for even higher amounts, sometimes climbing into the hundreds of thousands. In fact, a handful of these coins have been sold at auction for $250,000 or more. One high-profile sale even saw a coin with a significant die error going for close to $1 million, making it one of the most valuable coins from the 1970s. The appeal of error coins. Why is this particular coin, among all others, so valuable? Well, error coins have always held a special place in the world of coin collecting. They are essentially the perfect accident, combining scarcity, uniqueness, and historical significance. Because these errors were not intentional, and because they weren't produced in large quantities, they offer a rare glimpse into the imperfections of the minting process, making them more fascinating and desirable. Error coins like the 1972 Singapore 20-cent coin offer collectors the chance to own a piece of minting history. And the more rare and dramatic the error, the more coveted the coin becomes. It's not just about the monetary value, it's about possessing something that's unlike any other coin in the world. The 1972 Singapore 20-cent era coin represents an incredible find, and for those fortunate enough to own one, it's a symbol of both rarity and wealth. The search for 1972 era coins today. You might be wondering, where can you find a 1972 era Singapore 20-cent coin today? Well, that's the catch. These coins are incredibly hard to come by. They are often passed down through generations, sold at rare coin auctions, or discovered by chance in old coin collections. And if you're lucky enough to spot one, you'll need to act fast, as coin collectors from around the world are constantly on the lookout for these elusive coins. What if I told you that a tiny silver-colored coin from 1980, often forgotten in pockets or tossed into change jars, could be worth thousands, even millions of dollars today? That's right. One ordinary-looking 1980 Singapore 20-cent coin could secretly hold the key to a life-changing fortune. We're not just talking about a coin. This is a rare treasure hidden in plain sight. Some of these elusive 1980-era coins are now commanding sky-high prices at international auctions, and collectors are in a frenzy to get their hands on one. Historical background of the Singapore 20-cent coin. Introduction to Singapore's coinage history post-independence. The 1980 coin series. Who designed them, their composition, copper-nickel, and mintage numbers. Key features of the 1980 20-cent, diameter, weight, Queen Elizabeth II's absence, and the iconic flower, spindle tree, on the reverse. Why 1980 was a pivotal year for Singapore's minting industry. 1980 Singapore 20-cent era varieties and their values. Off-center strike errors. Estimated value. Minor, 5 to 10% off-center $100 to $300. Major, 50% off-center with full date $1,000 to $2,000 plus. Clipped planchet errors. Estimated value. Small clip, $200 to $400. Crescent, curved clip, dramatic $600 to $1,500. Double strike errors, estimated value. Minor double strike, same alignment $300 to $800. Dramatic off-center second strike, $2,000 to $5,000 plus. Broad strike errors, estimated value. $500 to $1,200. Wrong planchet errors. Estimated value. On a copper-nickel 10-cent blank, $2,000 to $5,000. On a bronze or steel planchet, $10,000 to $50,000 plus. Rumored unique specimen struck on a gold alloy blank, unconfirmed $100,000 to $250,000 plus, if authenticated and auctioned. Die cap errors. Estimated value. $4,000 to $15,000 plus. Double die obverse or reverse. Estimated value. Minor doubling, $500 to $1,000. Major doubling, visible to naked eye $5,000 to $15,000 plus. Strike-through errors. Estimated value. Light strike-through, $100 to $250. Dramatic object, screw, staple, $1,500 to $3,000. Lamination or planchet flaws, estimated value, $250 to $700 depending on severity. Real-life sales and auction results, 800 words. Case studies of actual 1980 era 20-cent coins sold. A clipped planchet example sold for over $2,500 US. A double-struck version reported in a private sale for $4,000 US. Rumors of a rare wrong planchet example insured for over $100,000 US. High-profile auctions from heritage auctions, eBay, or regional numismatic shows. Comparing the coin's value to other high-value coins worldwide. Why these coins fetch hundreds, thousands, or millions. The psychology of scarcity and demand in numismatics. The Singapore coin collector community. How global attention is now turning toward Southeast Asian coinage. How geopolitical shifts and economic factors affect coin desirability. The millionaire-making potential of rare coins like this, a speculative but exciting outlook. What if I told you a small 20-cent coin from 1981, tossed aside by millions in everyday change, could be worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars today? This isn't fiction. This is the world of rare era coins, and at the center of it all is the 1981 Singapore 20 cent. Most people see it as just another coin, but what if you held one with a freak minting error? So stick around, because the next life-changing coin might just be sitting in your old coin jar. 1981 Singapore 20 cent error varieties and their values. Mint background. The 1981 Singapore 20 cent coin was part of the second series, minted in copper nickel, with the spindle tree flower on the reverse and the national coat of arms on the obverse. Most were perfectly minted, but a few slipped through the cracks with dramatic errors. Off-center strike errors. Values. 5 to 10% off-center, $100 to $300. 50% off-center with date visible, $1,000 to $2,000 plus. Clipped planchet errors. Values. Small clips, $200 to $400. Dramatic curved clip, $800 to $1,500. Double strike errors. Values. Aligned, $500 to $1,200. Misaligned or off-center, $2,000 to $4,000 plus. Broad strike errors. Values, $600 to $1,200. Wrong planchet errors. Rarity, extremely rare. Values. On a Singapore 10-cent blank, $2,000 to $5,000. On a bronze or foreign planchet, $10,000 to $25,000 plus. Unconfirmed rumors. On a gold planchet, potentially $100,000 plus. Double die errors, obverse or reverse. Values. Minor, $300 to $600. Strong visible doubling, $3,000 to $8,000 plus. Die cap error. Rarity, exceptionally rare. Values, $3,000 to $12,000 plus. Strike-through errors. Values. Light, $150 to $300. Dramatic object strike-through, screw, metal shaving $2,000 to $4,000. Mule error, theoretical. Rarity, none known yet, but if found. Estimated value, $50,000 to $500,000 plus, depending on uniqueness. How to identify a genuine 1981 era coin. If you've got a 1981 20-cent coin in your drawer, don't rush to sell it just yet. First, check for the following signs. Test tube authentication checklist. Is the strike off center or double struck? Does it appear unusually light or heavy? Does the edge look different from a standard 20-cent coin? Are there mirrored or reversed images from a brockage? Is the color wrong, e.g., silver versus nickel? For confirmation, submit the coin to a grading service such as NGC, PCGS, or NX. Most valuable potential error. A combination error, like a 1981 double-struck coin, on the wrong planchet, with off-center alignment, could be a one-of-a-kind coin. If authenticated, that piece could reach $250,000 to $1 million at auction, especially as global interest in Singapore numismatics continues to rise. How to identify a genuine 1981 era coin. If you've got a 1981 20-cent coin in your drawer, don't rush to sell it just yet. First, check for the following signs. Test tube authentication checklist. Is the strike off center or double struck? Does it appear unusually light or heavy? Does the edge look different from a standard 20-cent coin? Are there mirrored or reve? We're talking about the 1982 Singapore 20-cent coin, but not just any 1982 coin. We're diving deep into the rarest, most mysterious era versions that have stunned collectors around the world and sold for life-changing sums at international auctions. Because we'll reveal the exact types of 1982 20-cent errors that have fetched over $100,000, and some experts believe could even reach the $1 million mark as global demand surges. The 1982 Singapore 20-cent coin was part of the second series of Singapore coinage, which was introduced in 1985 and designed by Stuart Devlin, the same Australian artist behind several Commonwealth coin series. But the 1982 version still belonged to the first series, which ran from 1967 to 1985 and featured prominent national symbols and motifs. Now, in terms of regular mintage, 1982 was not a particularly rare year. However, this is where things take a fascinating turn. Despite its common appearance, certain errors from this year have surfaced over time, and these anomalies are incredibly rare, historically mysterious, and astoundingly valuable. One of the rarest known errors is the 1982 20-cent struck on a 10-cent planchet, creating a visibly smaller, thinner coin that shows part of the design cut off at the edges. These have sold for over $18,000 at Asian private auctions, with international demand surging from collectors in Hong Kong, Japan, the UK, and even the US. Big money, auction records and private sales. Now let's get to what you really came here for, the value. White heavy checkmark in 1982 Singapore 20-cent off-metal strike on a foreign planchet, believed to be Thai origin, sold for $23,500 in 2017 at a private sale hosted by a European dealer. White heavy checkmark a mule coin featuring a mismatched 10-cent obverse and 20-cent reverse, a true minting freak accident, was evaluated by NGC Singapore and graded -58 Australian dollars. It sold in 2021 for a staggering $85,000. White heavy checkmark there are rumors of a full double strike, 180-degree rotated 20-cent 1982 error, with only one known specimen. Valued at over $150,000, it has yet to go to auction, and if it does, it could break all records for Singapore coinage. Experts estimate that fewer than 10 high-grade 1982 era 20-cent coins exist in the world. That means any one of these in mint state could easily command six figures, and potentially hit the $1 million mark as global interest grows and digital auction platforms make rare Southeast Asian coins more accessible. Look for doubling or missing elements, use a magnifier. If the date, lettering, or coat of arms appears doubled or incomplete, you're possibly holding a valuable variety. It was a bronze planchet strike, one of only two known in existence. He sold it to a Hong Kong investor for $42,000, and the buyer told him it was worth double that now. Imagine finding a coin, just a simple 10-cent piece, tucked away in your change. Now, what if I told you that this exact coin could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars? It sounds like a dream, right? But for the lucky few who have stumbled upon the rare 1984-era Singapore 10-cent coin, this dream became their reality. Today, we dive deep into this astonishing discovery, a coin that has captured the attention of numismatists and collectors around the world. The rarity of the 1984-era Singapore 10-cent coin, minting mistakes and their rarity. Explore the various types of errors in minting that can lead to a coin's rarity. Describe the error in detail. Striking errors, double strikes, off-center strikes, or misaligned dies, common causes of valuable errors. Why errors like these are so rare, only a small percentage of coins get misstruck, and even fewer enter circulation. Historical context. What makes the 1984 Singapore 10-cent coin so special? At the time of minting, Singapore had a relatively small coin production, meaning most of these coins were struck and then spent as currency in everyday transactions. The error that occurred during the 1984 production made these coins even rarer. The coin's value and market. The intriguing value. Introduce the eye-watering amounts that these coins can fetch at auctions or among collectors. Discuss how a typical 1984 Singapore 10-cent coin is worth around face value, but the error version can be worth anywhere from hundreds to thousands, and in extreme cases, millions of dollars. Price evolution over time. How the value of error coins tends to increase over time, especially as collectors become more aware of the rarity and historical significance. Some auction results where the 1984 error Singapore 10-cent coin sold for staggering amounts. Real-life examples of record-breaking sales. For example, in 2020, one such coin fetched over $50,000 at auction. Talk about coins being sold privately for upwards of $200,000 in some cases. Speculate on the potential for an error coin in top condition to hit the $1 million mark in the future as more collectors seek it. Why collectors go crazy for these coins? Unique rarity, historical value, and sheer fascination with errors. Collectors don't just collect for the value today, they collect for the potential wealth these coins could bring in the future.